So you might get a pop-up screen there.
Yes, we did. Oh, you just got it.
Okay, so here we are. It's already time for the elementary fair. I don't know how much you know about the fair, but normally all of us meet together in February, K through 12. It's quite a huge event. This year, because of pandemic and different kinds of situations, we had to call it pretty early that we were having a non-in-person fair, a virtual fair. So I'm really happy to see so many people engaging in science and helping their kids with science. So you don't see someone here. Alyssa Mejia is also part of our base team. We also have an advisory board. So we already introduced ourselves earlier. Alyssa is in charge of communications, and she also acts as a lead judge.
My sunglasses are ready. I'm going to take your phone and go.
Okay. Someone just got home from work. And so I always like to brag that, you know, the science fair is a great way to support the sciences. It integrates subjects and topics. I don't know if you know, when you're working with your kids, there's language arts, there's writing, there's photography, there's art, lots of math in the data collection. It's hands-on, minds-on. It's also maybe the only time during a year a student might actually start and finish a whole experiment, because usually in science class, you're just doing little micro studies of things. It also helps with public speaking and engagement. And I know that our K2 students won't be doing a virtual interview, but they can also think about their audience. There's some studies that show that kids who participate in science fair do go on to study STEM and like it, because liking it is really important. And I like to think about how much time we spend on elevating sports and competing there. And I don't think we have to compete to learn science, but I do think it elevates it to the kind of importance that other kinds of things in school get. So it kind of puts it up there. We do need judges. So parents, y'all are allowed to judge. We encourage judges to have some science and math background, either a STEM job or they have some background in their college. And this is available on our website. Tricia, could you let that person in? But on the 22nd, it's just a poster judging only. You'll work with another judge and you'll look at the K2 submissions. And then on the 23rd is where the 3rd, 5th will get interviews. We try to encourage at least 2 people from each district, teachers especially, to volunteer to kind of help with that. We need 50 to 60 judges. Judges will receive a t-shirt and a certificate, and all this information is available on our website. And the judge registration is open now. Your commitment is between 3 and 5 hours, and we start at 8:30 on Saturday morning, and we usually will end about 12:30 or 1 o'clock. So Tricia, you can also reach in and mute people if they've forgotten.
To her? Incredible. Where?
No, be quiet, be quiet. It's not muted.
Okay, so I think that a lot of your questions might be around the idea of the virtual board. So I'm going to talk about that first. So on our website, and we sent to all coordinators a template. The template is not required, but the template shows you all the things that should go on a science fair board. And the science fair board this year is virtual. So if you were to make a big trifold board, and some of you probably already have, it should have all these elements on it. This board also includes some safety rules and guidelines. Those safety rules and guidelines follow what the state does and what the national, international fairs do. We'll be reviewing the boards for safety and display, just to make sure that no one has put a human in harm's way or a dog in harm's way, or themselves in harm's way if they used fire or electricity or something that might be considered toxic. And if we think we need some more evidence or paperwork to show that you did follow safety guidelines, Tricia, me, or Norma will be contacting you. This slide actually says reflections on learning is required. Honestly, we're not going to kick anyone out if they don't have that slide. It will help a K2 person communicate what they've learned and communicate how much they were involved in the science experiment. So having that slide will be great. So these are directions. This part can be eliminated when you make yours. You can change everything about it. You can change this headline, make it your own picture. These are the elements that should be included in every science fair presentation of any type, whether it's physical, live, or it's on, it's on these virtual boards. We've put everything on one slide. You don't have to, you can spread it out up to 3 slides maximum. And our judges, when they look at these online, I'm going to show you an example, they'll be able to zoom in and stuff. The font size is important though. We can only zoom in so far. So just look at it yourself online. I hope that some of you already made one as part of your district, but I think a lot of you had live presentations. And so you're having to translate what you did face-to-face at your schools onto here. And this is the page that's the reflections on learning. That first one did say it's required. We're not kicking anyone out of the fair, but having this on here where you're talking about what you learned and so on, and acknowledging any kind of safety concerns that you took care of, is going to help present your slide to someone who can't be there with you. Here's an example of the plant soil one, all filled out. The title's up there in the top. It says Science Fest. We, among all of the directors across the state, we do share stuff. And so that's what they call it in Austin. We got this example from them. Any questions about that before I show you some alternates that we had submitted last year?
Yes, I had a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm a teacher at St. Pius, and we had some questions about the virtual board. So let me confirm, they can use like Google Slides as long as it's not more than 3 slides and do it that way? Or do they have to use the virtual board?
No, they can use the Google Slides. So you as
Okay.
a teacher could actually upload the template into Google Slides. I don't know how well it translates, and you can let them use it from there. I'm going to show you these alternates. The one thing that is required is after you create it, it needs to be saved as a PDF.
Right, thank you.
And there's some directions online on how to do that. It's a fairly simple process, but if you don't like work in academia or do teaching, sometimes people don't ever do that. The reason why we require the PDF is because it makes sure that it's viewable. If you've ever used Google Docs, sometimes there's all kinds of settings that are difficult to navigate. Also, it keeps everything straight and in the right place when we put it into different electronic environments.
Totally understand.
So I'm going to share with you some boards that were fine from last year. So I had it pulled up and ready, I promise. Safari. Okay, let me just, I'm going to stop sharing and find those. Last year we were totally virtual. No one got interviewed, and I think it went really well. This year, our virtual fair for the 6 through 12 was great. The kids loved it. The judges loved it. I think we did a fantastic job. It was very hard work for all of us though, because we were short on judges. So that's why I'm really pushing for all of our school partners that are in. If you have some teachers or if you have parents who will make sure you don't judge in the same category as your student or grade level. So the way we share with the judges on judging day is we use a program called Padlet. And we take your PDF and we post it here. Last year, we shared this with the public as sort of a public way of seeing things. This is some examples from kindergarten. I think that's a good one to think about alternate. Like I said, we didn't kick anyone out. If they do the reflection slides though, since they can't actually speak to a judge, that's going to really help. So here's one. I'll get one. This one looks similar to the template. Make that bigger. Let's see if I can. So I can zoom in on that. Can everybody see that one? So this is using the template mostly with some moving around of stuff and adding in some more evidence of the actual experiment that went on with photos. And this person did not include their reflection, but they did make sure and do the photo credit. No, it's not there. Photo credit's not there. You should say I took it, parent took it, or something like that. Again, last year was our first time to do this. But this one kind of follows the template and they move things around, and that's cool. Let's see. Here's some life science ones. Here is, I think this one's quite different, and it was fine. Again, this one does not have the reflection, which I really encourage y'all to have a reflection slide. But here's a person who rearranged some of the stuff, gave the background. They have the research question. There's the hypothesis. They've got a nice background. So you can alternate how you do it. One submission we did get this year already is a report. It was like an 8-page report. So we really don't want those. Our judges have about 15 minutes to study each person's slide, and then I'll show you how the judging works. So it can't take as long as it might take to read a report. So I hope that it's received well when we send that back. Here's another one. We'll color, and these are all kindergarten. So as you move up through the grade levels, some of the sophistication should be higher level. But I know a lot of people, I got a worried email from a parent that she was very worried about the appropriateness. But you can see that, I know with my child, when she was this age, we worked together. She dictated to me what I should write on some of the things. She got to pick what pictures. I remember last year we had somebody's who had a hand-drawn, where they'd colored in all of the graph. And so you could really see that the student had done a lot of the work. Any questions about those alternate formats?
I just had one more question, if I may.
Sure.
If they decide to use the virtual slide as is, if you click on it, you can't change the stuff. What do you do to download it or to copy it? What is the procedure to do that so they could just write on top of it, basically?
So you're saying when you download that PowerPoint, it's not changeable?
We tried it in the classroom one day, one morning, and it was still just basically not letting me. It would like do the little dots around it, like, okay, you're going to be able to do it, but it didn't do it. So I was just curious. Yeah, if maybe I missed a step or something.
No, this is good questions. I think everyone would like to know. Did you upload it into Google Slides?
No, I didn't. I like the fact that you said we could do that. I thought it had to be just like download and then use it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if I were you, I mean, we can troubleshoot it. I can even stay a little bit and see, but or meet you at another time. But you can save as your own copy.
Okay.
Has anyone else used the template from our website? Okay.
My son used a template and we were able to get it to work okay.
Okay, so Mary, you might want to try save as and save your own copy.
Okay, I will do that.
It might be opening as read only. Might
You know
be a
what? You're
setting.
probably right there. Okay,
Yeah.
I will do that. Thank you.
Okay. Like I said, we're not going to kick anyone out of the fair or reject anyone. We hope that you were selected by your district and all your teachers, and you've had some support. And if there are some safety violations, though, we may be getting in touch with you to see what mitigation you used to make sure it was safe. All right, so the registration is due April 8th. during the registration is where you upload the PDF. So I'm going to click on this registration form. And you're probably not seeing it, so I need to reshare. And I just want to show you what to expect. And if you are a school coordinator, you can fill this out all the way to the end and then abandon it if you want to see what it's like. Hey, I see a little Mr. Hale popping in. Glad to see you here. Just basic information, students' first name, last name. Make sure you spell it right and put your capitals because that's what we use to make the certificates. The student's age, date of birth, their gender. We do give t-shirts. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm wearing the t-shirt right now. It's got a really cool back. Here's what it looks like. It's got some scientists on the back. It's a pretty cool shirt. Everybody gets a t-shirt for participating in the fair. Then some just basic demographic. We like to tell our funders and be able to report out, you know, how we're doing and if we're representing our area. Then your names, your address. We use this to mail you your t-shirt if you need it mailed. Mostly we'll take these t-shirts to your schools along with the certificates and awards. We'll either mail them there or deliver them, but this is in case. Your phone number. This is especially important for our 3rd through 5th, in case we need to make sure they're coming to the virtual interview. School district is a drop down, should have everybody there. Do we have Fulton? Oh, I don't think we have Fulton.
Fulton would be Aransas Pass,
No, it's Rockport Fulton.
Yeah,
But
that's Aransas County.
but it's Aransas Pass.
So we do have it.
Yes.
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 Yay, okay. Then your grade division, that's obvious. You're going to click that. This is important. And then you'll click your exact grade. Your teacher's name and email. So when we email you about certain things, we'll usually CC the teacher's name. So make sure you find their email. Usually they're available online, or you've probably emailed them before. Team or individual, project title. Now this is a description, just a short couple of sentences, maybe directly from your board. Here's where you upload the project. You just click on it. And, oh, I had to write something there.
Dr. Plowman, excuse me.
Yeah.
There's a question, Patricia Garcia.
Okay, Patricia, what's your question? Oh, wait, is it?
Yes, what the part in the form, if you don't mind me asking,
Yes.
which email address when and then maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. When we fill this out and then the students get the virtual invite for their oral interview, we wanted to host those oral interviews here locally at our camp at one of our school buildings, just because not everybody in our community has Wi-Fi.
It's a good
at home
idea.
and stuff like that. So we just wondered, we write, the coordinators will get a list of the kids' times and
Yes.
stuff.
So
And the Zoom
last
links?
year, last year what we did is we sent everyone a list of who would be interviewed and which. So you got the entire list, coordinators did.
We would also get the Zoom link for them, so that we could have
Yes.
the kids. Okay.
Yeah,
Just wanted to
so we
make sure.
do need the parents' real email so they'll know too, but we will also email all the coordinators and teachers the schedule for Saturday
What if
and the Zoom
parents don't
links.
have email addresses? We did run into that. We do have that. What that question was. brought up.
You can substitute the teacher's address in there.
Okay, thank you.
And then there's additional participant data. Again, these are then getting into optional questions. We try to collect data for 2 reasons. Just so in-house, we know who our audience is. We're trying to broaden our participation. There's also a question down here at the very end that asks you if we can use your information for research. So looking at data across a number of years is what we're headed for. You can say no. If you say no, you still get to participate. when you get to these next sections, I don't think it's gonna let me go on. Oh, yes, it will. Yay. There's some acknowledgements, and these are very similar to what we do when we have it live and in person. This is the student code of conduct, parent understanding. This says students must be at their displays 15 minutes before. Substitute that in as to be on time. I know K2 doesn't meet this expectation. We also have a release that if they're on and we're recording, we have permission to take a picture. You can say no and still participate. And then a waiver. So if you get injured during the Zoom session, you won't sue us. So these are required forms from the university that we always use, no matter what format we're doing. All right, so any questions about registration? Oh, and then when you submit it, you will get a copy through your email. So if the parent doesn't have an email, the teacher will receive the copy, and then we also receive a copy. So if you've lost it or you're not sure if you've registered, you can always email us through cbsciencefair@temucc.edu, and we can double check that for you. Okay, any questions at this point? All right. So I have a few more things to share. The judging process, I think I've talked about it a little bit. K-2 will be judged by virtual board only. We have teams of students and teachers and other volunteers that will be looking at them. And then on the 23rd, our plan right now is to start at 8:30 and be done at 12:30. And then your student will be notified for the hour time slot. So they'll log in, we'll check them in, we'll have an hour. So they might be first in the queue, they might be fourth in the queue, but there won't be longer than 45 minutes of waiting. They'll just kind of wait in the waiting room. So I have here that the participants will be notified of their time slot through an email by or before Thursday, April 21st. Okay. So, and the interview time, the time you have with the judges is 15 minutes. So the judges will be able to pull up that virtual board. And so the student can talk about what's on the board, and then they'll have some questions to ask. And if they are on a team, those two kids on a team can be in the same location, or they can be in different locations. That'll be fine. Anybody have a team project?
A group of two, possibly,
Okay,
if they both come.
okay. Great.
My
Um,
class does, my student does not, but I know some people in our class are doing a group project.
Okay, good. We don't have a restriction. We usually require both people to be there. But since we're virtual and it's a different kind of year, we will not disqualify the project if only one person is there. But I really think it's a better experience if they're all the team members are there. We have judging guidelines, which I guess I'm going to show you right now. We have a rubric posted online, and this aligns with our rubric. So this is what we give our judges. The rubric is the same. So they look at creative ability and they look at creative. So we have a lot of people who use science buddies, which is great. And when you're in kindergarten through first grade, it might be a similar one. But if you are older, you really should tweak it, do something different. Or say how you did something different or you learned something different. So they look at that. Scientific thought, we look for correct science. Did they state the problem clearly? And again, our judges are aware of kindergarten, first, second, third, and what's developmentally appropriate, okay?
Dr. Plowman,
Yeah.
excuse me, we have another question, Sebastian.
Go ahead and just read the question.
He had his hand raised. so I'll
Oh,
let him
okay,
know.
Sebastian.
It's
What's your
actually Sandra, my son Sebastian. I always
Okay.
forget to change it. I'm sorry, just going back to what you said earlier. So the interviews will be between 8 and 12. Is that what you're thinking on
8:30,
Saturday?
8:30, we're having the judge training is at 8:30, so it won't be at 8:30. Probably start with time. Now we have more students. That's why I'm kind of being cautious. We plan to start at 9:30 and end at 12:30. The reason why that might change is if we don't get enough judges and we have to stretch it out a lot longer. And that
Thank you.
you're so kind of save that time. And then this is not ideal, so I'm not going to say, but I know you have sports. If they need to step off to the
Yes,
side,
that's
and
what I'm
go
asking.
if they
Yes.
want to go somewhere
Yes.
quiet, even in the
Absolutely.
car, I don't think that, actually, we had a kid who was in the car, yeah, and he won a prize because he was still able to talk about it. That's not ideal for anyone, but as long as you have good connectivity, that would be the trick there. And so these are the different qualities that they look for, and this is available online. There's a rubric. It's a little different format. Any questions about the judging?
Someone was asking about screen sharing and whether the students can screen share so they can show their virtual board.
If the student wants to screen share instead of the judge, we think that's fine. Screen sharing will be set to let the people in the Zoom rooms use it. They can do that. And they can also, like, if you have an object that you made and you want to show that during your virtual interview, as long as it's an allowable item, which we sent out guidelines, the student guide, make sure it's allowable. You can't like light a fire. Even though you're virtual, you still can't do a fire because a fire wouldn't be allowed in an exhibit hall. But if they have something they've made or the car went down the ramp and they want to show they changed their car or they did, some floating thing and they want to have that there to show, they can have it. They can have it.
I've got a quick question.
Yes, April.
So for judging, if we sign up to be a judge, we'll have to be scheduled different times from when our child is
Yeah. So
interviewed.
on our judging, okay, so you're bringing up a good point. So you're saying you'd have to you wouldn't have two computers for your.
Well, I
kid.
could, but it just, I guess it needs to be planned out.
Yeah, so for sure you will check something on the judging application that says what grade level your kid is in, and you won't be with that grade level group. But it is possible that your kid would be being judged at the same time that you're judging. So if you do sign up, that's a good point. If you do sign up to judge, make sure you have two computers.
Okay. And
Yeah.
is there any additional training that the judges have to go through, or you just kind of get the rubric and go from there?
We spend about 45 minutes training you on the rubric. And I don't remember if we sent you all of the projects you were supposed to judge ahead of time. I think we were able to do that. Weren't we last January? Okay, Mary, you have a question. I see the hands now because I'm on my PowerPoint up.
I'm sorry. I'm doing this on the phone while I'm doing daycare. Just
No.
a quick question. I don't know if I missed that or not, but as a teacher, when we receive our kids' virtual boards, because at St. Pius, we're sending 2 from 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade on, right? So we're
Right.
going to do a pre-judge. When we receive those boards, the registration process, I know there's a lot that the parent fills out, but what does the teacher have to do to, is there any steps the teacher has to do after we decide which 2 are going on?
Yeah, you just need to make sure your parents have access to the PDF virtual board. There's lots of ways you could do that. You could create a Google folder and they can go get the PDF from there and upload it during the process. So the parents fill out the registration. So they're going to have access. They need access to the PDF. Email it to them, or some people have the parents up at school for like an afternoon and they get all of it done. That's another idea. Does that help, Mary?
Thank you so much. It did. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to see what else I have for you that's more formalized on my Okay, so last year we worked our tails off to do the awards on the same day as the judging. And, well, okay, I made a couple mistakes, so we're not going to do that this year. We don't want to rush the process, so we're going to post the awards at 7 o'clock around on Sunday. It will be something that schools could use and show, the next day. There has been some talk among us that we might do a live stream at 7 that will also be recorded. But we're still not sure. We're not going to commit to that yet. During the awards, we are going to have random drawings for science-related prizes. So all students who participate will be eligible for some of these door prizes. And we'll have a drawing for teachers too. So we have a drawing for a K2 teacher or a 3-5 teacher. There's first, second, and third place for each category by grade level. So in first grade, this is an example. In first grade, there's physical science or life science, and each one of those categories has first, second, and third place winning. And everyone gets a certificate and everyone gets a t-shirt. I am going to ask my K2 group to give a little feedback, and I'm not sure how this is going to go. If we're going to just send it as one big message to the school. Since they don't get interviewed, I think they need some feedback on their projects. So there we are with questions. These are some important, our website, very easy to find. Just do Science Fair Coastal Bend and you'll come there. Facebook, same thing, look for Coastal Bend Regional Science Fair. And then there is a movie that I can show to y'all if you like. But I want to first see if you have questions, more questions.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you can see my hand.
I couldn't because my other computer was blocking. Sorry, Carl.
Yeah, no worries. Is it Sunday the 24th or Monday the 25th? Or am I just completely off on my calendar?
You're correct.
It's Sunday the 24th. What did I put? Did I have the wrong one?
You had the 25th on there.
Well, I was thinking ahead till next year. And I'm so glad this is recorded.
That's what I needed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The group can tell you I've been off by a day this whole year. I've said the wrong day many times. And I guess it's like going somewhere. And have you ever gone somewhere and gone the wrong way and then you learn the better way, but somehow the next time you go the wrong way again? I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. All right, so I was going to show a movie. I don't know if you guys want to see the movie, kind of get you jazzed up. It's a movie you can show your students. It's on our website. Let me get it up here. It's just a few minutes long. One of our students at Tama made it. I think it's pretty good. Okay, got it ready. We also have another YouTube video on our website, and it's more appropriate for your older kids. It's Dr. Chris Bird. He is talking about how to share and communicate science, which is great to get your kids ready. It was made for the older grades, but after the first few minutes, he gets into showing all kinds of graphs and how to speak about your project. I think it's appropriate for 4th and 5th grade. Okay, so here is something to get you motivated. And maybe think about next year. I think we'll be able to be in person next year, so that'll be cool.
My science fair project is the boba kiki effect. My project was called Are Childproof Containers Really Childproof?
So people could know what toothpaste to use so they can have clean teeth.
Well, we have a theme for the fair. It's called The Love of Science. And we picked that theme because our first day this year was on Valentine's Day. This year we have 28 schools and districts, tiny ones. We have a really small school district that only has about 800 kids. And then we have Corpus Christi district. So it pulls all those people together.
My question was, how is air pressure inside the ball related to the distance the ball will travel?
We also have a ton of students that volunteer.
I am a science major, so I kind of see around the university if there's anything like science opportunities, volunteering events, and this was one of them that happened to pop up.
So my science project was about how lemons can light a light bulb.
I've been assigned the third graders, and just seeing how much they learn and how creative they are with their materials has really impressed me.
I love doing life science and behavioral science because it helps like solve some of the problems that we have in the world today.
Science fair pulls families, schools, the community together because it is a big group effort.
I was just going through the websites looking for projects that have to do with like the brain because I find that very interesting.
Science fair is a great opportunity for the whole family to get involved in science. I think people shouldn't be scared of science or even scared of science fair. They should investigate questions that are of interest to them and work with their science teachers and parents to kind of figure out how to answer their questions and stay curious.
I think it's fun.
Aw, that makes me get ready for next year being in person. That'll be so cool. But the students really enjoyed the virtual interviews. And I hope that everyone understands why we can't do that for K2 as much as we'd love to see their adorable faces. It's quite a production for us to all get together. And that means I'm gonna turn this guy off. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing all of the amazing projects. I think that we've adjusted really well here in the Coastal Bend during this time of need. To continue doing science with our kids is amazing. A lot of places didn't do a science fair at all last year. A lot of places also don't do elementary at all and never have. So I'm really proud of our area that we do that. So with that, I don't need to put my question slide up for you to ask questions. So do y'all have any questions for us?
Just confirming that this link we can share with our parents because it's recorded, correct? If they weren't being do it at 4:30. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
We're still recording, aren't we? Yes.
And where will the link be posted?
So on that, well, I'll just show you since
Please.
We have virtual, I will show you because that is the best way. I will go here. So just to show you, I'm on this other website. I'm on this other site. I forgot the website. I'm gonna just put in Coastal Bend Fair. It should take me right there, even if I spell it wrong. Isn't the internet amazing? So here is what that looks like. This went right to the important dates. Let me go to the actual science fair. So we have six different sections. I'm glad you said that, Dr. Witt, because I wanted to show this anyway. So this fair details is all of the dates. Here is the link that we're on right now. So in place of that link will be the video recording of today. Okay. And then down here we have the entry guidelines. That's for people who are scheduling it. Here's the K5 template, but we also have the template posted in one other place. Here's where you would register as a judge. So if y'all have some teachers or parents that want to register as a judge, there's that. We have, if y'all find anything, and then here's volunteering. We don't have volunteering this year. Awards and photos. You can see last year about the regional fair. Here, this one is the most important for you, which is participant resources. So could y'all mute Sebastian, please? This is the student project guide. We sent this out to all of the coordinators. So if you just want to make sure that you followed the safety rules, we have display. This is physical display, but then right below that, we have the virtual fair, the virtual board. Are y'all still seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. This is important and it also is exciting. This will, when you're getting ready for the virtual interview, if you've got something you want to display, you still have to pretend like it's a face-to-face. Oh, I said something about water. Don't include water, but you can still have your little boat and your little thing that you did your floating with if you want. No explosives. I bet y'all knew that. So that is that. And then down here, there was some other things. These are the rules for animals. So if we contact you, you're going to have to read through those rules and give us a statement saying that you did pay attention to safety. This is already water under the bridge. It's about preparing. I've already done that. Let's see if there's anything else on there. This is the communicating science video. It's about 20 minutes. I think it's really great for our older kids to watch it and talk about communication. And then you can see the titles, you can read. So we don't have Scienteer for our grades. If y'all have worked with the older grades, it's a database where people input their projects. And that is really it. So are there any more questions? And we'll send out a notice. I don't believe we'll be having a Wednesday meeting next Wednesday. What would that be? Let's see. That would be the 30th next week. Yeah, no, today's the 23rd. Yes, 30th. Our plan is to have one on the 6th. That will be right before registration is due. So if anybody has last minute questions. Also at that time, what we did for our 6 through 12 is if kids want to come on and go into a breakout room and practice a virtual interview, we offered that as well. Is that something you think your kids might like? So April 6th at 4:30. So we'll put that out there and give us a day or two to get that recording up if you want to share with other people. And on that note, I am going to stop the recording.